Chaplain Ortan Cassius, Master of Sanctity of the Ultramarines chapter. Ortan Cassius, also known as the True Believer, is the Senior Chaplain and Master of Sanctity of the Ultramarines chapter of the Space Marines. Also currently the oldest active member of the Ultramarines chapter, not contained within the armour chassis of a Dreadnought. Cassius was inducted in chaplaincy very early into his career. Despite his relative inexperience, many battle brothers were inspired by his righteous hatred for enemies of mankind, although some of the chapter's seasoned veterans considered him somewhat reckless and overly aggressive. During the Battle of Macrae, Cassius fought by the side of Chapter Master Marneus Calgar to repel High Fleet Behemoth. During the later stages of the battle, he accompanied the relief force that rushed the polar fortresses to relieve the embattlement 1st Company, though it was already too late for these veterans. Few members of Cassius' unit survived the brutal close quarters combat that followed, and Cassius himself was incapacitated by a rampaging Carnifex. He survived by only the slimmest of margins, clinging on to life until the apothecaries could tend to his ruined body, which was extensively rebuilt with bionic parts. After that Tyranid invasion had repulsed, Cassius withdrew the banner of Macrae, and only allowed it back onto the field after the Ultramarine strength had been fully restored to their former numbers. Cassius also petitioned Calgar for permission to form a new unit for the Tyrannic War veterans, from the most seasoned Ultramarines to have fought in the Battle of Macrae and subsequent conflicts, which was granted. That Cassius, a chaplain, decided to deviate from the Codex Astartes, which does not authorise such a unit, which then speaks volumes about his beliefs in the seriousness of the Tyranid threat. Cassius then went on to lead his battle brothers in a series of desperate battles to purge the Genestealer cult from the Torhaven. His oratory skills were such that he could inspire Ultramarines to greater feats of heroism, though he is also wise enough to know when his men would benefit more from regrouping. Sometime before the Tyrannic Wars, Cassius joined the Death Watch for a time and helped purge the Genestealer cults. During the operation, he formed his own legendary kill team. This kill team consisted of an elite squad of specialists, and they were handpicked by Chaplain Cassius himself. Despite his increasing age, he remains a fierce warrior and is particularly a master of combat against Tyranids, due to his extensive combat experience of fighting them. Cassius is now heavily scarred, with withered skin and white hair. Cassius is also the only warrior of the Ultramarines permitted to call Marneus Calgar Young Calgar. Cassius then went on to fight with the Ultramarines chapter on the planet Colovan with the Tyranids of the High Fleet Kraken. There he killed the mighty Swarmlord, who later was resurrected by the Tyranids hive ship. Now, since the opening of the Great Rift and the fury of the Plague Wars, much of the Ultramarine strength had been dedicated to battling the forces of chaos. However, Cassius remains focused on the Tyranid threat. The chaplain was exceptional even amongst the ranks of the Ultramarines. After learning many horrible truths about the nature of the Xenos menace during his tenure in the Death Watch, he was discharged with full honours. The chaplain returned to the Ultramarine chapter, bringing back the secrets he had uncovered during the course of his long vigil.